Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Niharika Srivastava, the Director of Global Research Hub. I welcome you all for today's webinar uh, on the theme of the power of early research and publication to improve college admission and beyond. Now, as I introduced myself before, I'm Dr. Niharika Srivastava, the Director of Global Research Hub, with over 13 years of experience in analytics, data science, finance, and economics. I hold a PhD in finance from Birla of Technology and have worked with companies like Google, Bank of America, and Center for Study of Science, Technology, and Policy. Now, for today's webinar, we have our speaker, Dr. Swati Sharma. Thank you for joining, Dr. Swati. She is a biologist specializing in human reproduction, gut biology, neuroscience, and bioengineering with a focus on fertility preservation. She developed ex vivo primate model during her PhD and a microfluidic-based organ on chip system in her postdoctorate. She is an award-winning researcher, including the German Society of Andrology Lecture Award in the year 2020. She now consults in health and medtech, particularly in reproductive health technology, and has contributed to establishing a startup in animal breeding. We welcome you, Dr. Swati. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me here today.
Let's start by understanding why research is a cornerstone for personal growth and academic success. But before that, a very quick note, feel free to drop your questions in the chat and we'll address them during question and answer sessions at the end. Research is more than just solving problems. It's about enhancing understanding, discovering new knowledge, build critical thinking skill. Do you know that research boosts top-tier institutions' acceptance by 25%, and student-authored papers are cited 50% more than the faculty paper? Research is a skill not only prepares students for college admissions, but also equips them for lifelong success. Dr. Swati, can you share your journey with us? At what stage of your life did you start research and what motivated you?
So for me, research, actually, I was curious to do research during my school time itself. I started with some very basic introduction, like generating, developing science models. That was my first introduction to research. The most vivid project I remembered was uh, understanding and creating a project on the chemistry of plastics. So I developed a project where I took different kind of plastic materials and generated and researched information on the chemistry of different plastics and how it is applied in different fields. So that was one project which I remembered. And then I was more interested in biology later on after my high school. I did some very basic fundamental research in school. As you know, we didn't have access to internet as now students have access to internet today. So at that time, information available was very limited. But during my graduation, then I started developing projects when I took admission in biotechnology. And during my master's, that was my first experience in doing independent research. I did a lot of research projects. I worked in different domains of biotechnology, from animal biotech to plant biotechnology to microbial biotechnology, to understand which area would interest me more, because it is so vast and so huge that people often get confused which field should they go on. So I really wanted to experience. I also did some industrial internships that time. And after that, after my master's, I moved back to India. I worked at IIT Delhi, and then as a research fellow there at the Department of Biochemical Engineering and Biotechnology. And then while working there, I was selected as a Marie Curie PhD fellow. So I went to Germany on a European research project. It was a consortium of eight different medical centers and universities working on fertility preservation. So that's how my journey continued. Yeah.
I must say, Dr. Swati, that was an inspiring journey. Now, we all understand that every journey comes with challenges, especially in research. I mean, from finding a topic to navigating the complexity of like methodology. I mean, every researcher, be that from school to like, any doctorate, they face these challenges and these roadblocks. So my next question to you is, Dr. Swati, what were the initial challenges you faced when you started your research journey and how did you overcome them?
Well, yeah, there were challenges. I think if I compare from today's age and today's time, so of course, technology was limited at that time. The softwares we have available now, we had limited, not that updated technological softwares. Also, the equipments, there was limited access in labs. Research infrastructure was limited also in premier institutions at that time. But now things are changing. There is a lot of funding available also to individual researchers. You have so many opportunities for women researchers by different government organizations. Also, there are a lot of incubators coming up. So all those things were missing a decade ago, I would say. And of course, funding at that time was a challenge. Now it is different. And yeah, so all these challenges were there, infrastructure and funding and information access. But now things have changed. This is what I have seen in the past 8 to 10 years. And so I think if students enter research field now, they may not have those challenges. Yeah.
I think I completely understand, what you are saying. I mean, yes, today they have access to good libraries also, including e-libraries and e-books. I think our
Definitely, yeah.
time, yeah, our time we didn't have access to these things, and the
There are
database
so many
somehow,
softwares
yeah.
for everything. So to organize your literature, to organize, develop your images for your publications. So
Yeah,
there is a lot of opportunity now for people entering research, and there is also a lot of interdisciplinary collaboration available, which was missing at that time. You can develop projects if you have interest in two different domains. You can develop projects based on that. You If you have interest in biology and computer science, you have options to develop in your interest in that direction. You can combine your skill set and different in different domains. You can work with different people, different labs. You can go for research internships in those sectors and develop your skills. So you're not limited now. And yeah, there are plenty of opportunities for people who are interested in research.
absolutely. And there are, I think, there are companies sometimes they actually they want these young researchers to come and work with them. So definitely understand what you're saying. So Dr. Swati, there are many of like, our audience who have joined. Here they aspire to take their first step to research. And your guidance could make a significant difference. So what advice would you give our like, young researcher who wish to pursue research?
Well, I would advise them to get as much experience and exposure to research environments as they can. I think opportunities like our hub is a great opportunity. For example, you get to learn from different mentors, you work with them, you learn to develop your own skill set and to understand whether this is for you or not. So, for that, you need to experience and whether you would like to get into a research career in the future. So, you need to do different internships, different research projects, at this stage onwards. And also, if you want to get good college admissions, I think um, as much as in India and also abroad, if you are building your research profile from right now, um, it will really help you excel in getting admission to good universities in the future. Um, also which field you need to go ahead in. So as much experience as you can gain, you can then diversify and get expertise later on and advance your careers. So for that, you need to think out of the box. Uh, you need to develop your critical thinking skills. So please explore as much as you can.
Thank you for your great
Yeah.
advice, Dr. Swati. So I think now we can make our session a bit more interactive with other audience who have joined us. So we'll explore some questions related to famous scientists. Feel free to share your answers in the chat. The first one to answer us correctly will get an Amazon voucher from Global R Hub. So let's see. So anyone from the audience, please, who is this researcher? You can put your answers in the chat box. Yes, anyone? All right, I'll help you with this. Now, he is Richard Feynman. He was a pioneering physicist in quantum mechanics and electrodynamics. He won the Nobel Prize in 1965. Now, let's see, who answers the next question. The first one, again, to answer will receive an Amazon voucher from Global R Hub. You can answer us in the chat box. All right, now let me help you with this too. He's C.V. Raman. He discovered the Raman effect, which occurs when light that shines through a material is scattered and its wavelength changes from that of the original incident light. So come on, audience, I think, let's make this a very interactive session, and you have a chance to win an Amazon voucher from us. So the next one, please feel, please put your answers, please write your answers in the chat box. Okay, so we have an answer, yes, from Chirag Maheshwari. You will receive a voucher from us. So Amartya Sen is a renowned he's known for his contribution to welfare economics and he won the 1998 Nobel Prize for his work on poverty measures and famine prevention. Yes. The next one, please. Anyone, please? All right, let me help you with this. She is Janki Amal. She is a botanist known for her work in plant breeding, genetics, and cytogenetics. Her research on chromosome numbers helped develop high-yielding varieties of sugarcane, eggplant, and magnolias. Now, I just wanted to discuss with the audience now, given a chance now, what kind of problem you would wish to solve around yourself. It could be pollution, poverty, anything, which you see as a problem and you would you would wish to solve it. So you can give your opinions in the chat box. Anything, any problem wherever you stay, near to your home, in your office. It could be a traffic problem. It could be anything. Anyone. It could be even electricity problem, fluctuation of electricity, also water issues, dirty river, contaminated lakes, anything, please put your opinion, discuss with us. Any problem you wish to solve. So anyhow, so there could be many problems like, pollution and deforestation, health issue, poverty, and see some example of some young scientists, that at a young age, what kind of problem they tried solving and they contributed to the society. Now, this is Shubham Banerjee. Now, he is not now, but 12 years, like when he was 12 years old from California, he created a braille printer by repurposing some parts of Lego set. Now, his findings were showcased at 2014 White House Maker Faire. Now, it was named as science's greatest invention in the year 2015. Another young scientist, is Gitanjali Rao. Now, what she did at the age of 11, she invented something called Thetis. It's a 3D printer device using some nanotube to detect lead in water, and the results are being sent by Bluetooth. Now, her invention, basically she won the 2017 Discovery Education 3M Young Scientist Challenge, and she earned the title of America's top young scientist. This is Ria Karumanchi. Now, Ria Karumanchi, at the age of 14, she invented something called smart cane. Now, after noticing that canes, the design of the cane had not changed since 1921. Now, her cane features sensor, GPS, cameras, and audio feedback for improved navigation. She secured, $56,000 in funding from Microsoft and developed it at Ryerson University DMZ Sandbox. So we have some examples of these young researchers, at the age of 12, 14, and 15. They came up they identified a problem. They came up with the solution and they contributed something to the society. So now let's make this session a bit more interactive, and I request all the participants to please participate in our small quiz and get a chance to win an Amazon voucher from Global R Hub. Now let's see that who can answer these questions. What would be your first step to untangle these ropes? Anyone? The first one to answer will receive an Amazon voucher from Global R Hub. Remember, there's no uh, wrong or like correct answer for this. It could be your choice. Yes, anyone from the audience, please. What would be your first step to untangle these ropes? If you are given a lot of ropes which are untangled, how will you arrange them? What would be your strategies? Okay, Bhanuj Gupta. See, congratulations, Mr. Bhanuj. You will get an Amazon voucher from us. Thank you so much for your participation. Now, the second question is, how would you describe what this picture represents? Yes, anyone? Congratulations, Mr. Bhanuj Gupta, once again. All right. The next question is, approach finding the difference in these images. Yes, anyone? Congratulations, Nitika. Option C, thank you so much for your participation. You'll get an Amazon voucher from us. The next question is, what new innovation would you introduce to this city? Yes, anyone? What do you think this city should have? What is missing? Better city infra planning. Thank you, Chirag, for your participation. Which book would you choose to read first? Yes, anyone? Anyone, any option? So option A, Bhanuj Gupta. Thank you so much and congratulations. You'll get an Amazon voucher from us. All right, thank you for your participation. Now, as we all unlike, we as we all know that research isn't just about academics now, especially after talking to Dr. Swati. It's also about unlocking potential, enhancing college readiness, and preparing you for impactful career. Now, do you know that it was found out through a study that 82% of the students, they have reported positive career outcomes, and 26% of the admission officers, they value research. So here we at Global R Hub empower students to venture beyond the classroom, to explore the world of research, develop their critical thinking ability, and improve college readiness through guided research experience and publications that stands out in college admission and prepares you for lifelong success. So here at Global Research, we try to mentor the students for their domain of interest, for their area of research, and we try to train them on the different research methodology, and get a project ready and try to get this published also. So for more information, you can visit our website www.globalrhub.org. Now we are open for question and answer. Any questions, please feel free to ask. Please drop in your question in the chat box. We got a question from Mr. Arun Reddy. Yes, so what we do is like, when, how, like, when, if you have an interest to do research, but do not know, like, which domain to do, so we'll have an interactive session with you. We understand that, what specialization or what kind of course you want to do, or what kind of domain you like it, what are your interest area. And once your domain, like we understand your domain through an interactive session, then we come to a topic. You can also explore our domains on our website. We have around 11 domains. In that, around 5 to 6 projects are already published. So you can go through our website and you can see which interests you more, and accordingly the topics can be customized absolutely, according to your area of interest and what kind of college course you want to pursue ahead, and accordingly we start the project. Anyone else? Any questions? Now, how does one start research? So let's suppose, you like some domain, okay, and then, we, after talking to you, after having an interactive session with you, because, it happens at a high school level. I mean, a person would not have an idea, like, which domain to go, and what can be the topic. So after an interactive session with you, we understand your domain. Once your domain is like, kind of finalized, we see that, what is going on in that domain and what you want to pursue in the domain. Accordingly, we filter out the topics. Once the topic is kind of filtered out, we pair you with a project mentor. Before pairing you with a project mentor, what happens is we give you a foundation research training. Now the research, in that we train you on different research methodology, the tools available for that. Once your training is done, we mentor, we pair you up a project mentor. Now project mentors are already a PhD, in your domain, and they are already like researchers or scholars or even scientists in renowned university. We pair you with them, and then you can start your research journey. So, and as a student, you need to give us 100 hours. That could be within a span of 1 month, 2 months or 3 months, because we understand, when you are in high school, you have your own timetable. You come back from school, you go for other classes. So we give you the flexibility that, you can plan your own project. And after that, once your project is done, and you get 20 mentoring sessions from the project mentor, and once your sessions are done, then we try to get your paper published. So that's how the research journey starts over here. Yes, Dr. Swati. Okay.
So there's a question regarding my research in Germany, I think.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So my research was to solve a health challenge, actually, that is infertility. And I was working in a group in a center which was also a research center plus a hospital. So we had access to a lot of patient samples from infertile patients. And my research focus was on pediatric cancer patients who undergo chemotherapy. So children under the age of 14 who undergo chemotherapy when they are diagnosed with cancer. However, the cancer treatments have advanced. So with the therapy and with the medication, their cancer is over time cured. But during the course of chemotherapy, they lose their fertility potential. So in the future, if these children want to have their own biological child when they grow up, they are unable to have their own children. So currently, there are no approaches, no strategies available for such patients. I was working with animal models as well as patient samples to develop systems to artificially develop cells from these patients. Clinics are currently cryobanking, saving the tissue from such patients before they undergo therapy, so that in future those samples can be used for developing mature sperm cells or mature gametes, so that these patients can have use ART procedures or advanced fertility procedures to have their own children. So my research was basically focused on that, and I used a lot of monkey samples for that as well as patient material. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Swati. I think your research was really interesting. Okay, we get a next question from Mr. Abhishek. How do I know if someone has already done research on my topic? So, Mr. Abhishek, while you do research, before we filter out the topic, uh, I mean, the area of your research, there's something called literature gap we try to identify. So we study and analyze the previous research which has happened within your area of study, and then we identify the gap. Once the gap is identified, then that filters out into a topic. So that training we give you in the foundation research methodology training. I hope that answers your question. Okay, now we get another question from Ms. Nitika Jakhanwal. How can we leverage latest tech like AI, ML in research? So, Ms. Nitika, like if you visit our website, so you'll find that we have a domain called AI and technology, wherein we have different areas of projects, and we not only limited to those. Like we don't limit to those projects. We also customize your project because we understand that AI and ML is nowadays been integrated like almost everywhere nowadays. So yes, we do we can actually leverage the latest tech like all AI ML techniques in our research. We do that. I think, Dr. Swati, there's a question for you from Mr. Reddy. What advice would you give to high school students who are interested in biology but don't know where to start?
I would ask them to not think about too much on the specific topic at this stage, but try and do projects in different areas of biology, and then only you will understand which specific topic is it that interests you, because biology is quite vast and also quite deep. So once you are able to understand, I want to go into genetics, I want to go into reproduction or microbiology, that diversification will come later on. But if you are interested, you'd explore, you do projects, multiple projects, as much as you can, as much as your time allows. Start somewhere. Our hub is presenting excellent opportunity here, so try and explore as much as you can. What is it, which research question you want to solve? Do you want to solve a health challenge? Do you want to work in medtech domain? Do you want to develop a new technology? You want to innovate something? Do you want to solve any environmental challenge? So once you start working, only then you will over time realize which specific direction you want to take. So for that you need to um, yeah start somewhere. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Swati. I think that's the key. Start somewhere. So there cannot be any starting point, and there cannot be any, and once you start, there cannot be any ending point. Let me tell you, research is that interesting, and it actually, gives you an edge over others, and not only for you, like, sometimes, I mean, a solution for a problem which exists in the society. So I think, yeah. So our next question is from Miss Devonita Saha. She's asking, how do I ensure my project will be a publication standard? So Devonita, what we do is before we design your project or before a kind of a methodology, we ourselves see that what kind of latest research is being published nowadays, the latest volume of different academic journals according to your domain of interest. We also check, like, we also go through and we also talk to professors, and we also go through the websites of different leading Ivy League university or maybe some other universities, and their ongoing papers and working papers. And we also talk to, because if you see our website, we have some pool of global faculties. Those already, like, are good professors in the leading universities globally. And we have some project mentors also, those who are already, like, they are doing research, some of them, and some of them are already, like, most of them are like PhDs. So we talk to them also, and then, like, we make sure that when we start mentoring, when the project mentor, they start mentoring you with an objective that at the end your project is of publication standard. So I hope that answer your question. Okay, we have another question from Mr. Abhishek. Are there different publication standards for different journals? Can I send same research to different journals, or do I have to modify it? So publication standards, like, if you ask me, it is more or less same for every journal. Probably sometime it happens that maybe the citation, the way you cite, the kind of format of citation and all that might change. And for this also, we train you on different citation styles on our foundation training. And when you say that, are there different publication standards for different journals? For academic journals, we almost all the academic journals, they follow the same standard. Now, sending the same research to different journals, generally there is an academic rule that once you have sent a paper in journal A, you cannot go to, like, journal B or C. If it gets rejected in from journal A, then you can go to the journal B, and so on. So because of the copyright issue, so generally one paper can go to one journal, like, at once, because that's the standard academics integrity we all, I mean every journals maintain. you know okay, we get another I hope, Abhishek, that answers your question. Sorry, Mr. Abhishek. Yeah. Okay, so we have another question. I am a student interested in computer science. What project can I do? What publication except student project? Okay, since you're a student of computer science, so computer science, I mean, if I say that broadly, it's like, becomes your domain. So what's what project to do? I mean, you can do. So there are a lot of things which is coming in the world of AI and technology. If you see, there's not only one thing, right? So computer science, enables you to do the project of AI also. It enables you to do some project of some computer science also. So I think you have a vast opportunity to do a lot of, actually cover up a lot of domain and a lot of project. Now, what is that area of domain, and what is that, like, exactly, the area within the computer science? I think that completely depends upon your interest. What topic in computer science do you like, and, like, what interests you the most, and why, and what is happening nowadays within that, within the computer science domain. I think we can explore this, and then probably, like, once I have a discussion with you, then probably I'll be able to tell you what area you can do within that computer science domain. And what publication accepts student project? Definitely, there are some leading journals which actually accepts your publication. So let me tell you, we recently had a publication with an undergraduate student, and she did her project something in I think a non-performing asset, and it got published. So not that if you're a student, your publication won't be accepted. No, you need to have a good findings of your study. If your findings are good, authentic, and and it's a proven, like, and it has been reviewed by some professors of that journal, it gets published. It doesn't matter that, even if you're like a high schooler or even you're an undergraduate student, your finding has to be good. Yeah. Um, I get another. You can club AI and machine learning. I think I'm seeing people doing AI and machine learning, with, right from sports management to be like, managing economics, or like, weather prediction. So definitely you can club up. Okay, we get another question from Arjun Kundra. How can students effectively balance research with their regular academic responsibility? We definitely understand that, like students, after they come back from their school, they have other activities to do. And they can, if you ask me generally, like, how to balance it out, uh, depending upon your domain and the kind of study you are doing it, you kind of have you must have a timetable that, probably within a day or once in 2 days you need to take out 1 hour for your research. So if you're able to strategize this, then you can have a research paper uh, ready. But then in global R Hub, since we understand that, students, apart from their like regular academics, they have other things also to do. So we give them a flexibility of like, 100 hours. We say that, okay, 100 hours within a span of 1 to 3 months. Now here we give you a flexibility that, okay, for next 2 or 3 days, you're busy, you have your assignment or exams or anything, then you can do your research after your exam. So like but you should take out, you should make a timetable, you should stick to a routine and try to take out 2 hours, once in 2 days or 3 days, um, and then like, and then start your research journey. And it also depends like at what stage of research you are. Initially probably you might require some like 1 hour every day to contribute it, but later on it would reduce. So it depends also. But then definitely the key is to this answer is like, a strict routine to be followed, that apart from your regular activities, apart from your academics, apart from your school, even if you take out 2 hours in 2 days or maybe 3 days, you can prepare. But then you have to be regular. It's not that, you once you do work for 5 days and then you forget, and then again after a week, because you have to be a little bit on track. Yeah. I hope that answered your question, Mr. Raj Kundra, Arjun Kundra. Yeah, so much. Any more questions? All right, so I think that brings us to the end of this webinar. So thank you, Dr. Swati, for sharing your like inspiring journey and insights. A huge thank you to our audience for their participation and curiosity. Just remember one thing, like to all the audience over here, research is just not a skill, it's a mindset. Whether you're exploring a simple question or tackling a global challenge, your journey can actually begin today, and it can actually, shape your tomorrow. So as Dr. Swati said that, just begin from somewhere, from where you don't know, and it will not end. It will not end. Once you're a researcher, I think you're always a researcher. I hope, Dr. Swati, you agree with me, right? So that once
That's
a
true.
researcher, yeah. So okay. So now for thank you for joining us, and for more information and how we support you for your research, and for Global R Hub, you can visit our website at on www.globalrhub.org. So thank you, and we'll see you at our next event. Thank you so much for joining and taking up some time on Sunday morning for us. Thank you so much, everyone.